Hi, it's me again. I switched communities in Portugal and live now with 5 families and other volunteers on quite a big land. And let me tell you a bit more about this place while I'm tidying up the space a little. So 5 friends who had been leading a permaculture school in Thailand for a few years bought this abundant land with quite a few ruins on it from an old Portuguese couple which still lives next to them to settle down with their families and follow their passions in Europe. The first years they focused on renovating the ruins to build a home for each family, and luckily they have a few professional carpenters among them, and to cultivate the land to soon grow enough food to be nearly self-sufficient. To aim that goal, they not only planted a lot of trees, fruits and veggies on the fields, but also in their major greenhouse, in which you can find everything from beans to watermelons, and they even have banana trees. How cool is that? And there are also a few animals living on the farm as pigs and sheep to maintain and fertilize the land and occasionally produce their own meat. Once the foundation has been laid, they added this extra taste of sweetness to the land, with 2 pools for the hot summer days, chill-out areas and a lovely community farmhouse for the volunteers and as a place to come together. Currently, they are working on concepts that will enable them to earn their income almost exclusively from the land and its yields in the future. For example, with various workshops and training courses on the subject of permaculture or the expansion of their farm-to-festival concept, which they have already been running for 2 years at an international dance festival in the north of Portugal. And I was lucky enough to stay with them at this exact time of the year to help them with the preparations and implementation at the festival. What a nice experience, bringing us even closer together. So they really created a place and community that's not only considering the big picture, but also doesn't forget the small intersocial things and having fun on the way with common music nights, birthday celebrations, creative sessions, neighbor gatherings, road trips, and so on. But enough of the background talk now, let me take you along a typical day at the farm. So I make a juice now, and I already put the ingredients here and cut them down. And I use normally the same ones. So I have celery, I have oranges, I have carrots, I have lemons, and I have an apple, and I have beetroot, and sometimes I also put a ginger in. So that's gonna be super delicious and a really good start into the day. As it can get pretty hot in Portugal, especially in summer, we normally did all the outdoor garden work in the morning when it was still nice and fresh. So we started in the greenhouse with the most rewarding and fun activity, harvesting the food that you planted. What a special feeling, and you can actually taste the love in it. At this time of the year we got so many courgettes out that at one point we had to eat it all day every day, although we already processed a lot of them. So if you have any nice recipes using courgettes, let me know in the comments. This day it was also time to harvest some spring onions. To remove them from the soil, grip the onion firmly at the base and gently pull them up while wriggling slightly to ease it out without breaking the roots. And then we prepared summer vegetable beds. First you loosen up the earth, putting some compost on, planting the seeds. Here it is already a little bigger and surrounded with a good amount of straw. It helps as a natural weed protector as it blocks the light which is necessary for the growth of wheat. And it also helps to retain moisture in the soil by reducing evaporation and works as a temperature regulator. Before moving on with the next activity, I quickly filled up 2 buckets with oranges from the tree. Snagged some unripe grapes. And then went to the other ones on the field outside. They already started with harvesting potatoes by hand, and it's kind of an art to learn the right technique of getting the potatoes out of the soil without cutting them. And it's also quite a physical work, but teamwork makes the dream work, and in the end, seeing a trailer full of homegrown potatoes makes up for all the effort before. Last thing that had to be harvested that day were some beans. It's super fascinating to see how quickly they grow back after being picked, just within a few days. But to do so, they need quite a lot of water, and it's also a little bit depending on the variety, just to have that on your mind. Now it's time to process the food, to either use it directly or preserve it for later. And over the harvesting period, we used different methods like canning, freezing, drying, and pickling. But unfortunately, I didn't film much of it, but just imagine me chopping a lot of veggies and fruit, standing in front of a pressure cooker late in the evening, sterilizing and labeling all different kind of cans, and turning fruits in our dehydrator or on the roof because the dehydrator was full and the sun during the day was just hot enough. And that's how a typical day at the farm ends. See you in the next video.